Hi guys, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to our book review sessions. Today, I'm super excited. Absolutely dumbfoundingly, astoundingly excited. We are doing one of my favorite books. It has become my favorite books, and it's a timeless book, a timeless classic when it comes to making a reality your dreams. Yes, it does have a financial aspect to it, and yes, it does also have a faith aspect to it. It inculcates those two concepts and ideas. It's called Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich. Right? It's an absolutely amazing book. I would recommend it for anybody who has a dream. I'd recommend it for anyone who has a goal for himself. I'd recommend it for anyone who wants to achieve big things in life. This book does not give you a blueprint on how to achieve your goals, but it gives you strategies that you need to employ in how to give you on how to achieve your goals. What do I mean? There's a difference in the context that I'm using it right now. I'm using the word blueprint and strategies from a different perspective, right? Though they may be similar, but there's a hairline splitting difference. So here's where it is, right? A blueprint tells you how to get there. Strategies advise you on how to get there. Strategies give you an idea of what you need to do in order to get there, but strategies don't necessarily show you how to get there. So that's how I contrast the two in this context of strategies and blueprint. Now, the book is a book of strategy, and one thing that I love about it is that it is real. It is real in the sense that it is realistic, it is pragmatic in its approach in terms of the strategies that you should employ in order to reach that goal, in order to achieve that dream of yours, in order to obtain the kind of life that you desire. So that's the one thing that I love about this book, is that it's just so practical, so pragmatic, but still it has profound insight in its pragmatic presentation of how to achieve your goals. And it's written by the author Napoleon Hill, and it has been revised over the years. When a book is revised over the years, basically means that there are certain additions, or there are certain editions, right? Additions, adding editions, meaning that certain things have been edited, all right, over the years. So you may find that the Think and Grow Rich that you read, that you may have read years ago, as opposed to Think and Grow Rich that you may have read now, they are not the same. And even if you look in the preface of the book, the author will tell you that this book has been edited in certain areas and additions have been made in certain areas. So the preface, the author does tell you that this is what has happened. In actual fact, the editions that we have right now, currently in the year, in the 21st century, it's not the original author that made the additions or that made the edits. It's not the original author. The original author, Napoleon Hill, he is the one that originally wrote the book. And then I believe, if my memory serves me correct, it's a British author that then made additions to this book, insightful additions that he had then learned over the years when it comes to this understanding of what it means to be successful and how to become successful. So I want to look at the table of contents page of the book, Think and Grow Rich. So the book has 15 chapters. It's absolutely amazing. 15 chapters. So chapter 1 speaks about the power of thought. Chapter 2 speaks about desires. Chapter 3 speaks about faith. Chapter 4 speaks about auto-suggestion. Chapter 5 speaks about specialized knowledge. Chapter 6 speaks about imagination. Chapter 7 speaks about organized planning. Chapter 8 speaks about decisions. Chapter 9 speaks about persistence. Chapter 10 speaks about the power of the mastermind. Chapter 11 speaks about the mastery of sex transmutation. Chapter 12 speaks about the subconscious mind. Chapter 13 speaks about the brain. Chapter 14 speaks about the sixth sense. And chapter 15 speaks about how to outsmart the six ghosts of fear. Because this book is so rich and is so profound in every insight that it gives on every chapter, I'm going to do a 5-part series or 5-part episode on the book review of Think and Grow Rich, because I wanna expound on certain chapters and just go into it a bit, not giving you guys the whole book, but just generally ex- I want to say expounding, but generally explaining, like in a very generic way, right, what every chapter entails. Okay, so on today's session, I want to look at the first three chapters, which is the power of thought, desire, and faith. So when you read the book Think and Grow Rich, and you go into the first chapter, it gives you the understanding of the power of thought, being able to think it. So from my understanding, from my analysis, when I went through it, I concluded this, that if you cannot think it, you cannot achieve it. If you cannot think it, you cannot become it. If you cannot think it, it cannot be attained. You first need to think it. Think the faculty in your brain that allows you to think, that's what we call the birth ward. That's what we call the word where birth takes place. That's what we call the place of impregnation. For the fact that you are able to think it, it means that it is possible. For the fact that you're able to perceive it, it means it can be done. Thinking it is where the birthing place of success, the birthing place of vision, the birthing place of ideas begins from. A birth first needs to take place before success is then obtained, or before success can be obtained. You need to think it. As a man thinketh, he becomes. So your becoming is not because you have employed certain principles. Your becoming is because you first thought it, you engaged certain principles, and then you had became. You first need to think it. Your thoughts, you need to also guard your thoughts, because the same way that thinking it, you become it from both a positive and a negative perspective. If you keep on entertaining negative thoughts, what will eventually become your reality, or what will eventually become a manifestation of your life, will be those negative thoughts. So you need to harbor positive thoughts. You need to harbor thoughts that say it is possible. You need to harbor thoughts that say that I can do it. You need to harbor thoughts that say that keep on going. Once you begin to harbor these thoughts, in you harboring them, you are cooking them. And once they're in that process of being cooked, they will ultimately and eventually produce results. That's chapter 1. Chapter 2 speaks about desire. It is not possible for you to achieve any goal in the absence of desire, because desire becomes the fuel that makes discipline make sense. It is pointless for you to become disciplined in something that you don't have a desire for. Most especially when it comes to your dreams, your vision, your goals. Yes, you may not like certain disciplines in achieving your goal, right? I don't like doing this, but I love the goal which I'm heading towards. I don't like doing this, but I love the goal that I'm trying to achieve. I don't like doing this, but I love what I'm becoming because I've desired it. Your desires is from an end goal perspective. Your desires is from a finish line perspective. Your desires is from a destiny or destination perspective. But the principles, the disciplines, the consistency that you have to do now, you may not like it, but you not liking it and continuing persisting in it is because there is a desired outcome that you want to achieve. So that's where I'm taking the not liking it as opposed to achieving something that you want to be, you'd like to be, you'd love to be. Okay, so I'm taking it from that perspective, how I differentiate not liking it as opposed to having to do it from the perspective of desire. Without desire, you have nothing to live for. Desire is what gives you hopes. Desires is what gives you dreams. Desires is what enables you to see with the inward eye. If you don't desire something, there is no inward sight that you have, or there is no activation of that inward sight. Desire allows you to see what you cannot see with your physical eye because it has not yet manifested. You first have to desire it, because once you desire it, you perceive it as being possible, you perceive it as being reality, you perceive it as being reachable. You have to desire it. So you first have to think it, then from thinking it, you have to desire it, then from desiring it, which leads us to chapter 3, you need to have faith. Faith is being able to see something which is not yet a reality. You see it from two components that we just spoke about. You see it from the component of thought and you see it from the component of desire, but it has not yet manifested, so it's still stuck in the realm of faith. You believe that it is possible. In actual fact, when you believe that it's not possible, it's also another type of faith. But you need to believe it from the right kind of faith, that it is possible, from the faith of I can do it, from the faith of day by day, from the faith of brick by brick, from the faith of layer by layer. So one thing that I've learned and that I've come to understand is that any big dream or any big goal, how you achieve it is in the small steps. The brick by brick, the layer by layer, the foundation by foundation. That's how you achieve big things. Big things, if you want to achieve them holistically in that way or in that mindset, they will overwhelm you. They will put you into panic. They will give you panic attacks. They will give you anxiety. But to eliminate the element of anxiety when it comes to big dreams or big goals, is that you do what you can today that will help you move forward tomorrow. You take the small steps today that can help you move closer towards that big dream tomorrow. What's the smallest thing that you can do today that will help you move forward in you trying to achieve that dream tomorrow? That when you wake up tomorrow, can you say that I'm a bit further along in trying to achieve my dream than I was yesterday, even if the step that I took was a small step of going to gym, a small step of reading that book, a small step of reading those 3 pages, a small step of the discipline of even doing your bed in the morning. What small step have you taken that will bring you a bit closer to your dream? You need to have faith. Faith, from a biblical perspective, is a pragmatic thing. Faith without works is dead. You need to put in that work to say that I believe it, therefore I'm doing. I believe it, therefore I'm trusting. I believe it, therefore I'm taking the step by faith. I believe that using this principle, I believe that engaging this law, I believe that engaging this advice will bring me closer to where I need to be. And once you do that, you engage the law, you engage the principle, you engage the counsel, and you leave it to the principle, the counsel, or the law to work its way out. The reason why at times you find yourself waiting is because that principle that you engage, it's working its way out. The principle of patience needs to work its way out. The principle of discipline needs to work its way out. The principle of faithfulness needs to work its way out. The principle of perseverance needs to work its way out. The principle, it needs to work. You need to give it time to work. And the principle can only work if you take it seriously, number one, and if you use it in the right way, number two. It's possible to use the right principle but in the wrong way. It's possible to do the right thing but not in the right way. And if you do that, it will frustrate you because it will not work. So don't only learn the principle, but learn how to use the principle, learn the context in which the principle should be employed, learn the kind of environment where the principle will work. So there's other rules you need to learn that are around the principle that will ensure that if you engage this principle, it will work. So number one, thoughts. Number two, desire. Number three, faith. And until we continue next time, be sure, subscribe. Somewhere up, I will put it somewhere up there. Subscribe, right, to our channel, and tell us in the comment section that do our book reviews actually help you? Have our book reviews actually provoked something in you to start reading and to start bettering yourself from a knowledge perspective? Have our book review made any impact in your life? Hey, maybe now you started love reading, or maybe not because you saw this book review and you're like, oh, it looks like a cool book, right? Write in the comment section, tell us that how has these sessions impacted you and how have these sessions benefited you and been beneficial towards you. And I say again that if there's a book that you'd love us to read or review, or if there's a book that you'd love to suggest to us that you feel like it's an amazing book, remember, 2 categories: Psyche of Success books, Christian leadership books. If it's not within those categories, please don't suggest it. Right, so if it's within those categories, you can suggest it. Write in the comment section, say, can we read this book, can we review this book this month? So I have book review planner for the next 3 months, which is Jan, Feb, and March, right? From April onwards, suggest books and we can actually review and do your books, and we can make the books that you guys suggest are part of the book club or the book for the month. And remember, the books that we read are very thin books for now, so that we'll be able to do 2 books per month at least. So when we go to the level where we now read thicker books, and we'll do 1 book review a month, because I want to give you guys time to actually read the book, because I understand some of you guys actually work, go to school, okay? So be sure to be a part of our community. Our book club's name is Leaders Are Readers. You know, TD Jake says that. He says, leaders are readers. Because there is no way that you can lead and on any level, whether you're leading from a family level, whether you're leading from a academic school level, whether you're leading from a corporate level, or whether you're leading from a spiritual institution level, whatever level of leading that you do, you cannot lead if you do not read. It won't happen. It's not possible. Or even if you are leading at a personal level, leading yourself to become greater and better tomorrow, it is not possible to lead yourself in the absence of knowledge, in the absence of you becoming astute when it comes to your knowledge faculty. Read so many books that you become stupendously smart. Okay? You cannot lead if you do not read. Leaders Are Readers book club, right? We are looking at the book of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. But I want to remix it. I want to say, think, be, look, and grow rich. God bless.